Hello everyone! Today we are going to be learning how to ink and also base colors, and if we are lucky and fast enough we might even learn how to do shading. So the first thing that we're going to have to learn how to do is how to ink. And there's different types of things that you can do for inking if you're using Photoshop or any other different art programs that does not have a stabilizer tool for your pen tool. Then guess what? There's something called Lazy Mezumi, which is actually a fantastic program that some artists like Kim Lafferty use whenever they're doing stuff in Photoshop. It really helps whenever it comes to stabilizing and doing your inking for any of your projects. But right now we are working with Clip Studio Paint, or I'm working with Clip Studio Paint. So I do have a built-in stabilizer tool in my actually in almost every one of my brushes, which is fantastic. I love it. But today I've already went through and did a quick sketch for us to ink beforehand because I thought ahead. Now what I did was, if you look over here, boop, I already made an ink layer. It's just hit a new raster layer and then type in ink so you know exactly what it is. So we're going to take this right here, this sketch layer, and turn down the opacity with this slider up here. That slider, yeah, we're gonna use that. We're gonna bring it down to about half, so it's very well. We can even go even lighter if we want, but we don't want to have it bright. We just want to have it just light enough that we can still see it, but if we're inking, it's not going to mess us up. Also, another quick thing that we could do is I'm going to layer lock this, so I won't start accidentally drawing on this layer whenever I'm inking, which is going to be that little tool right there. I love that I can point to some of these. It's great because our alpha layer lock is right next to it, right there. My pen's getting cut off, I'm sorry, but we're going to be using this lock layer, and basically what that makes it do is that no matter what, I cannot do anything in it at all. It won't allow me to. Even if I have a pencil or a pen, it'll come up with that little red X out thing that says, yo, you can't touch this. You can't touch this. Now I'm going to get demonetized. Cool. So what I'm going to do is grab black, which is the color for inking. Or you can do dark blue, dark gray, whatever you really want. It's up to you. You are the artist, aren't you? But for me right now, I'm going to use black. I'm going to make sure that my brush is the size that I really want it to, because you can have it that thick, and that thick, or even that thick. But that's all with that size. I can go even smaller if I really wanted to. But here are the key points. Right over here, we have stabilizer. We can have it at 0. If we have it at 0, it's going to look jaggedy and just raggedy and looking. But if we turn it up to 50 or 17 or 50 right here, it smooths it out a little bit more. I like to work at 100. And if you guys can see my hand, I can go really fast and it trails behind. That's the best part. It's basically taking the average of the line that you're making and then adjusting it that way. It's really cool. Also, I have my pen pressure on. So if I do really light lines or really thick, bold lines, I can do that just with my pen pressure. So where do I start whenever I ink? I normally start right around the head, or also I can go from anywhere, but I like to start from the head. And what I'm going to do is just find the average of all the lines that I already made. And I'm doing one continuous line on that and then another continuous line on that. I'm not doing quick jagged marks. If I was not having a stabilizer tool, that would probably be closer to what I am doing, shorter brush strokes. But because of the stabilizer tool on, I'm going to be doing a little bit longer brush strokes because I'm being ballsy. And remember, the undo button is your friend. I have a shortcut on my rocker ring on my Wacom Cintiq tablet that is made just only for the undo button, or Control Z. Control Z is your friend. and it always will be your friend, especially whenever it comes to doing any art whatsoever. Trust me on this one. And also, we are drawing a character from 613, and I'm trying to remember her name right off the top of my head. Scarlet. That's what it was. I can't remember for some reason. We're drawing Scarlet today. It's one of the people who watch the art lessons. His character, so I was like, hey, I reached out and was like, hey, can I use your character as a demonstration for the next art tutorial? Because I want to make sure that I can give you guys some credit, or give you guys some... Oh, I'm sorry, it's 12 o'clock at night right now. Your boy's tired. I'm trying to give you guys a little bit of publicity, if you would like to say that way. And right here, whenever you're inking, you don't have to follow the exact lines that you made. You don't have to follow them exactly. It's a suggestion line. That's what it is. And now I'm going to go back to the reference and see what we had over here. And I'm going to do that. And when I do this, what that is right there is it's where dark shadow will be, like really dark shadow. And sometimes I'll do it with the inking so that it just makes it easier for later on. It's a way. All right, so from there, I'm also checking my reference, because references are always important to have whenever you're drawing. Especially if you're drawing somebody else's character. I mean, yeah, you can go right off your top of your noggin or your noodle. It's all up to you on that one, fam. There we go. And how am I doing this so quickly? It's because each line I'm making, it's just a quick one and done. And I'm not going super slow because I want to have it still smooth. Even with the stabilizer tool, if you go really slow, you'll start getting more of a wonky line. You still want to go a little bit fast. Get those clean, crisp lines. Oh yeah. And if you've noticed something, I'm trying not to leave any gaps in between my lines. And that's important for coloring. And I am completely whited out. Golly, look at that. I'm like a ghost, baby. Who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters. There's something strange in the neighborhood. And what is it? Demonetization. Oh boy. Here comes the most important part of the character. The eyes. Well, that's me personally. That's how I've always seen eyes whenever it comes to characters, is that it's one of the most important parts of the character. Reason being is because that's where a ton of their attitude, personality, and also emotion come from. There we are. And you see these bumps right here? Now, there's a little alpha layer right here. You see this transparent thingy? It makes your pen into an eraser. So it keeps it so that you have the same exact pen that you've been using, and it makes it like an eraser, which is fantastic. So you don't have to go and fiddle around with your eraser tool and everything like that, making it to be exactly like your brush, and then have to change it every time you size it up, size it down, or whatever you want. And also I use that for doing more along the lines of shading whenever it comes to airbrush shading. Whoop. And see, I'm using my lines as suggestions. I'm not going exactly from my lines. Your sketch lines aren't going to be your exact lines that you have to follow every second. Trust me. They are only suggestions And with those suggestions, you can make whatever you really want. And heck, you can go completely off script if you want to. It's just the dynamic of the piece that you're doing. Like that right there, I added a little bump. I don't know if I'm going to actually keep that. I don't really like that. There we go. There we go. But whenever it comes to your sketch is just a basic outline of what you're going for. This is where you plug in as many details as you want. There we are. There's not much to say whenever it comes to inking, except when you're inking, huge thing that you need to watch out for is making sure that your lines connect. Unless it's going to be an artistic thing that artistic freedom that you want to have, is that yes, you can have it so that your lines do not particularly match up or link up. But due to how I base color and how I kind of cheat whenever it comes to base coloring, I need my lines to always touch, because it will make my life, when it comes to doing any base coloring, it makes it 1,000 times easier. There we go. There we go. Little lip right there and a little lip down here. Alright, and her eye is going to be more along lines like this. Tilted. Go to Tilted Towers! Go to Tilted Towers! There we go. And let's give that pupil. There we are. And there we are. I need to bring that down just a hair, because you want them to kind of be level when it comes to pupils. Kind of want them to have almost the same feel, so that one doesn't look like it's going that way while the other one's going that way, or one's going this way while the other one's going that way. You don't want that, because it kind of defeats the look of the character. It makes them look weird. But, I mean, if you're wanting to make the character look weird, I mean, then it works for you? Question mark? That's the fun part about art. You have so many artistic liberties that you can take. Yay, artistic liberties. Alright. I'm going to do that. Come back down through here. And now for the fun part. The clothing! Yay! Because this clothing is a little bit different with the shoulder pads. I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to make folds for that shoulder pad. Which, let's look at my reference. Okay. So it does do that. I was wondering about that. Now let's make that to show that there's depth in there. There we are. Boom. Insta depth. I love doing that. And the reason why I do that is because it just shows that that's a deeper shadow. I mean, if you want to, you can totally go and make a darker color and put it in there if you really want to. That's completely up to you. But, because I normally do only one dark shade for my shading, for cell shading, because it's a lot easier, I tend not to do that. I mean, don't put tons of colors into my shading palette. So I use that black to make it so that it goes a stark contrast. And with this, It's a loop. A loop around the hand. Remember, it's not a straight line, it's a loop. It goes around. It envelops the wrist. The wrist is not flat. The wrist is round. Think about three-dimensional space. Things are going to be three-dimensional. You want them to wrap, baby. You want them to wrap. Alright, so I'm going to go here. And I'm not pushing down as hard as I possibly can. Because if I was, I have to wait for it to save. It would look that dark. Oh. There's a redo button as well up here. If you undo too far, there's a redo button up there. Or it's Control Y if I remember right. In most programs. There we are. I know this is like super boring to watch, / fascinating / boring. But bear with me. We'll get to coloring very soon. Because inking is just one step closer to the fun. Alright, because that is actually going to go like that. So that I can do that. Oh, here's a big thing. If you have two lines going in the same direction, try to break it up a little bit. So have one veer off a little bit more than the other, so that it does not look like, oh, look at that. You can see my shadow arm. Yeah. I got shadow arms. Watch out. But so that it doesn't like flow into the other one. Because it's kind of weird if you got two lines, like say the back shoulder line right here. If I kept on flowing it and then like one of our hairs continues the line perfectly, that looks kind of weird. Just FYI. And I know I'm going to get this a butt ton. Like a butt ton. How do you draw hands? Well, here's a trick. You don't. You don't draw hands. You never draw hands. Hands are from the devil. Golly, I hate hands so much. Her hand looks like it got stung by a bee. Let's trim that down a little, actually. She got a fat hand. Let's trim that. Yeah, that will be fine. That will be fine enough for me. I can live with that. I can live with that. Maybe I can't live with that, but you know what? I will live with it for right now. There we go. And let's go like that to give it a little bit more flair. Filet mignon. Alright. And now, because this is fabric on a button, I'm going to do something similar, like something like this, to show that it's actually holding on to something and pulling into the fabric as well. Gives it dimension. A little straight line up here to show that there's a little bit of a fold. Gives it more dimension. I like dimension. Did I mention I like dimension? Oh gosh. I should never do that. So, you guys want to see why we did all that? Boom, boom. See how fast that was and easy that was to fill? Let me go in an instant replay. Magic wand tool. Boom, selecting the area. Making sure area scaling is on. 4 or more than 4. I mean, depends on how deep you want it to go into the line. Basically, that shows how deep it's going into the line itself. So that whenever you hit the fill tool, it actually fills it. Instead of, say, having no area scaling, click that, hit it, and then you get this white nasty line all throughout. You don't want the white nasty line throughout, because you can go through and have to Line it out. Be very careful. And that'll take forever, and it's freaking annoying, and you don't want to do that because why not just color it in? So, we're going to be smart artists instead of dumb artists. Hit that area scaling, boom, get it into the line, boom. And after we do that, boom. We don't have to mess with it. Maybe there's like one little spot right over here. Maybe we have to mess with that. But other than that, boom. Perfect. Now we can turn back on the other layer. See why we work with layers, people? Layers are important. Layers are beautiful. They're a gift. Alright. Now this is the only time that I'll say that continuing the line is good is whenever it comes to, say, jackets or jaquetas. Because the line does match up with the edge. If it's not supposed to match up with the edge, don't do it. If it is supposed to match up with the edge, do it. Okay, so that's what that looks like. Bada bing, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. Sweet. His character is coming together fabulously. I may have brought that thing down way more than normal, or what it shows in the reference picture, but I kind of like it. Alright. Now this was the one that I was going to have an issue with, I knew, whenever I was sketching it out. Because this boob comes higher up to cut off a little bit of sight than the other one. Because her shoulders are angled. So if the shoulders are angled like this boob is going to be higher than this one right here. Of course. It's like, if you do that while, like, if you like sit there and look at it, it's like, hey, my pectoral here is higher up than this one here. I wonder why. Do. I made mashed potatoes. I see. And muffins. There we are. There we go. Cory! Yes? Why'd you put a line right there? That doesn't make sense. Well, you see, whenever it comes to an actual chest that they lay down on it, they don't just go, like, barge just go. So this is more along the lines of the split of the chest right here, which causes where the ribs are, which are underneath, and blah, 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 anatomy, science. And maybe one day I will actually do a tutorial on that. But today is just a tutorial on inking and coloring and possibly shading, which we actually might be able to get to. I don't know how long this has been going on. Let's see if I can. And I can't. I can't say. Oh no. Oh no. Actually, I kind of wonder. Sorry, Streamlabs OBS has like completely changed everything that they're doing. So I don't know what's going on. Give me 1 second. Okay. Cool. Alright. Whoop. Keep that kind of in the center. And let's bring that down right there. And see, I'm trying to keep as much even line width as possible throughout the whole entire piece. If you want to, you can vary the line width in certain places just for fun. And that's what it is. Just experiment, have a little bit of fun with it. See if, like, right here I can go a little bit thicker. Over there I can go a little bit lighter. Just have a little bit of fun with it. Art should be fun. Until you make it into a job. And then it kind of gets meh, but then it gets yay, and then it gets meh again. It just bounces back and forth. And yeah, my computer's being a butt. Alright, and the thumbs up. Whenever it comes to inking, I love inking mainly because it's relaxing for me. Coloring, not so relaxing. Inking, quite relaxing. It's almost tranquil. It's like those coloring book things that so many people get nowadays. They're like, oh my gosh, coloring books. Oh. I think that fad's gone now. When I used to work at Books A Million for a year or so, that was like one of the biggest fads. Like everybody who's anybody that was an adult would come in and pick up those stinking books. The whole art section was dedicated to those books. There was no art books in the art section. It was nothing but coloring books, let's be honest here. And I actually got kind of irritated at it because I sat there and I was like, yo, I feel like art books should be in the art section while coloring books should be in a coloring section or something like that. Because now that I go over there to try to find a color, like a how to draw book for somebody that needs it, they can't. Then I go, well, you can have like 15 coloring books, but I can't find a drawing book. Because nobody wants that anymore. Who wants to learn how to draw? That's why we have YouTube. Drawing from a book. Psh, YouTube it. How do you draw hands? Boom. YouTube. How do you draw feet? Boom. YouTube. How do you make a career out of art? Good question. Very carefully. Heck, even I don't have a career in art. It's freaking difficult, yo, to get a career in art. If you have a career in art, more power to you. You're doing something that most of us actually dream of doing. There we go. But Corey, you used to work at a print shop. Yeah. That was a lot of fun. Probably never ever want to do that again. Trust me, golly, that was a pain in the butt. There we go. Let's go here. And see, I'm just using those other lines as a suggestion. You might be wondering, holy crap, Corey, what are you doing? This makes no sense. It's like Patrick Ewing. I rhymed. I'm that tired that I rhymed. But mainly what I'm doing is making belt loops. And all that fun jazz. Actually, what does her belt look like? Okay. There we go. I'll just cheat that one real quick. And fold. And a line for the leg. Booty line. Crotch line. Seam of the crotch line. There we go. Doing this for effect of folding. That's kind of hard thing to do, is to walk people through the inking process. It's more along the lines of finishing up what you've been working on and using everything to your advantage. like the fact of freaking stabilizer tools, which are very important to use. And also understanding all the suggestions that you made previously during your sketch. Okay. So now that I'm done with that, I can take away my sketch layer, so I don't have to look at it anymore. And there we go. Let's finish that off. And that. And I think that should about do it. Neat. Okay. So now that I'm done with my inking, I'm going to make a folder. And I'm going to label it my character. So, what was his name? Scarlet? Totally misspelled Scarlet, but I don't care. Because nobody else is ever going to see the layer. I mean, layer folder. I'm going to drop my ink into that folder. I'm going to make a new layer. Label this as base, so my base colors. And I'm going to snag the base color from here, which is I for the eyedropper tool. Click it, grab the color. I am so out of focus. There we go. Get back to my magic wand tool. Remember how we set up our magic wand tool earlier with area scaling? Now also we're going to hit multiple layers. So whenever I do a selection, it selects multiple layers. So I know that I'm not on my ink layer right now. I'm on my base layer. So now I could select for my base layer and it still follows the guidelines for the ink layer, which is very important. That's why I have this multiple layer, or all layers, multiple layer select. They refer to the layer other than the editing layer, all that fun stuff. And now I'm going to hold shift and click everywhere that there is going to be skin tone. Every little place, because you want to know why. After we do all that and we're on our base layer, I hit this paint bucket tool, which is fill. And guess what? All of it's filled. That is what we call painting like a pro. Or base painting like a pro. Super fast, super quick, and gets the job done. Which is fantastic. That's what we need. Now I'm going to make another layer for the shirt. Or the undershirt. Let's go undershirt. Undershirt. And you can have as many layers as you want. I have a lot of layers normally for each drawing. Well, that's just me. And actually, I wonder, what do you look like with this color? Nope, it's way too light. Would not work. Sound good. So I'm going to come over here, steal that color. Come back over here with my undershirt. Boom, boom. See how fast and easy that is? So much faster and so much easier than going through and just painting it all. We are going to be effective artists. Not like ineffective artists. It took me way too long to think of that word. It is late for me at this moment in time because my brain is not wanting to function for some odd reason. Now we're going to go and do shirt 2. Which is going to be the collar. Because I noticed that the collar is a deeper brown than all the others. Which actually is almost the same brown as... Oh. Okay. Because that color right there is actually the same color as the cufflinks. Ayo. This makes my life a little bit easier. So now I know that my cufflinks are the same color as my shirt. So I'm going to put them on the same layer. And now I'm going to go and do jacket. You guys seeing how fast this is going for just doing base colors? And sometimes base colors can take hours. I know this for a fact. I used to take hours for my base colors, and I hated it. And now I can get all my base colors done lickety-split with no time at all. And I'm just adding layers and then just stealing color and adding color. That's all I'm doing. And little by little, my character is getting colored so much faster. Thank God. So I'm actually going to do pants next. P-A-N-T-S. Pants. And snag that color right there. They're khakis. Boom, boom, and fill. Man, I love the fill tool so much. The magic wand tool and the fill tool, just, oh, perfect. Alright, so neck thing is going to be this color, which is actually going to be more of a metal, which I'll show you how to do metal. Don't worry. And actually with the neck thing, I am going to use that neck thing and also do the layer for the... Oh, you know what? I forgot to give her ears to give earrings. Okay, it's fine. I'm going to do the belt buckle on this one. Boop! Because it's going to be a metal layer. Now, I'm going to do one for the belt. BLT. But also I'm going to go back and make sure... Okay. So it's a silver. Boop. And I'm going to do the cufflinks real quick because I'm already here. Why not? Belt. Let's snag that. Boom, 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 boom. And one more. Boom. See those marching ants? They're inside the line. Makes it so much easier. And that helps pass the time. Now, next is going to be the hair, which I can tell that her hair has 2 tones to it, which is perfectly fine. We can work on that. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. And I'm just going and hitting Shift while selecting, so it selects all of it. And boom. See how fast that was to color in? I know there's at least one person that I'm sitting there blowing their minds. But other people are like, yo, why didn't you realize that in the first place? I mean, that's pretty simplistic, if I was to say. Also, I'm going to go right above my base layer to do my eyeshadow. So I almost forgot that she has eyeshadow on. With this one, I can do a outline real fast. Like that. And like that. And still use the fill layer. Boom. Boom. Done. Perfect. Quick. Love it. And actually, you know what? I'm going to use this one to do gums. So let's see, Mario, Natasha. I'll use the gums on this one. Boom. I'm gonna color it more that right there. There we go. And eyeshadow is gonna be my gum layer. Just trying to remind myself. I can't use the hair layer for that. I can use the pupil layer for that though. So I'm going to hit eyes, eye layer, which is normally my white layer, and also my pupil layer. I'm just making layers real fast so that I can hit up this tongue layer for the pupils, boom, and then I can go back, grab white for the eyes, which I just go over here and do an eye tool, the eye drop tool and snag white. And then I'm just going to go right in here. And also right in here. Actually, I'm going to fill that one in real quick. And hit that, boom. And sometimes I get a little bit of a line here. which I understand, and I just take care of that real fast. Sometimes it'll happen, sometimes it won't. It's really finicky sometimes, and I just drew right all over that. And you might have somebody ask, why are you using separate layers? That doesn't make sense. Why don't you do it all on the same layer? Well, I will show you real fast. Is because you see that I'm just filling that in real fast. If that was on the same layer, I would have drawn all over my ink layer badly. Or if I go to my base layer and try to draw over my hair, yeah, check it, it's not going on that hair. And that is how I base color. As fast as possible. I know it could get confusing a little bit, but that's as fast. I mean, I can go faster personally, but going through, it saves so much time and so much energy. Why wouldn't you want to do it? It is working smarter, not working harder. And as an artist, being lazy pays the bills fast. Whenever it comes to having tons of commissions or tons of pages that you have to do on a webcomic, knowing these little tricks will save your life so that you don't have to spend extra hours on certain things. Now, you know what? Normally, I was only going to do inking and doing base colors, but because I have a little bit of time, let's hop into shading so that next time that we do a lesson, it could be one of your guys' suggestions. All right? We're going to powerhouse through this one, okay, guys? We're going to finish up this piece. So, with the base layer selected, you're going to hit new layer. It's going to pop a layer right above it. Then I'm going to hit this clip to layer, or a clipping mask for certain people that some people know it's clipping mask instead, or whatever you want to call it. I call it clipping. There you go. I'm going to select, and I'm going to select the color, and I'm going to find a new color for the shading, which that could work. I'm pulling it into red more than what it is, or where it is at right now, so that I can have a shading that actually has a different color in it. And it makes it look so much better, people, so much better. Because if I do this type of shading, compared to if I just took that and just went a darker shade of whatever it is, it just looks weirder. Because remember, whenever it comes to shadows, shadows will always have a color reflecting off of it. So say with my shadows here, my shadows have a little bit of green in it because I have a big green screen right behind me. So yeah. Or also my shadows over here have a little bit of red in it more because the light that's bouncing off right here is causing more red in my shadow instead of a dark brown. Or a straight dark brown. It's close to a red or brown. And what I'm doing right now is just doing cell shading, which cell shading is basically going through and blocking out the shading shapes, or the shapes of the shading. And it is quite beneficial to learn how to cell shade due to whenever it comes to the character itself. After we do cell shading, we can have a little bit more fun, and I'll show you a little bit more fun later on. And what I'm doing is just blocking off little bits and everything like that. I know that her hair is coming off her face pretty far over here, so that's why I'm going off. That's why I'm pulling a lot more shading down up here and leaving this more lit. And I might do that. I don't know. Let's see if that will look good. No, I don't like it. I'll leave that like that, and I'll probably pull a highlight in there or something. We'll see what happens. And because her head is going over, because look. If I'm doing this, my shadow is going over my collarbone. If I'm doing this, leaning back really far, it's not going as much. But also with her, you can actually pull this back just a little bit. She does have like this necklace collar type thing going on right now. And oh, remember that one trick that I was telling you guys with the transparent color here? Yeah, we're going to use that a lot whenever it comes to doing the cell shading. Because I'm going to show you how to make things pop. Now see those collarbones? Those are actually popping a lot more. Reason being is because I took away some of the shading. Little art trick. And now that I'm saying that my light source is up here, where her character or reference sheet is, and shining down here, I am making sure that with that light, I'm going with that light. So this part of the hand on this side won't see light as much, because if the light's coming from that way, it's not going to show. I mean, it's not going to be beaming down on that part of the hand as much. Boop. But also it is going to be shining on different parts of the hand. And that hand looks a lot bigger than the other. Just realized that. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, ooh. Alright, let's see if I can do this without messing everything up. Alright, let's see. Let's shrink that just a little. What? I thought I snagged the base color too. Oh well, I mean, I'm not gonna be mad. I can just rebase it. I mean, that base color took like, what, 15 seconds to do? I'm not gonna be too distraught about that. There we go. And smooth that out. And you may be wondering, Corey, how'd you do that? I did a lasso tool and selected everything that I wanted to like redo, or not redo, but resize. And then while doing that, that's what I did. I resized her. And that is the shirt color. Boom, boom, boom. And then what I'm going to do is take this base color. Delete that, delete that, delete that, delete that. And we have lines. So I'm going to take that. Deselect. So basically it's a big old eraser. Boop, 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 boop. Done. And that is resizing really fast because Corey saw that he screwed up on something. Now let's go back into shading. Yay! Oh boy! Alright. So the hand's going to be like that. So the shading should be like that. And this is guesstimation off from top of my head. If I did something like that. I'm trying to find the best place where it'll show shade. Well, you can't see shade on that glove. And also I have a light that's beaming down right on me. Not from up top, but also you can see that the shading is going to be closer to right around this general area. And also right behind the hand or fingers, but that's just because I don't have the light source going on the right way. So I'll probably pull that up to here. And there we go. When in doubt, try to replicate the lighting situation. And I will put a little bit right in here. A little bit over here. Come on. There you goes. There you goes. A little bit right there. That's fine. That's fine. I like that. It's not too terrible. Alright. Now, remember when I said that I'm going to teach you how to make things pop? Get that transparent color tool. There we go. We're going to go right along the black line. And that is going to make the shading pop. I like it when they call me Big Pop. Please don't call me Big Pop. That is awkward. If you call me Big Papa, that might mean that you have daddy issues. Yoink. Complete joke. I was having fun. Please don't go around and be like, oh my gosh, Corey just said that I have daddy issues because I call him Big Papa. Please don't do that. And now, see your hand pops a whole lot more. Small little tricks that make your character just pop or shine a lot more. Gotta love that pop art feel. You can do that to the chin a little bit. Not really. There's not thick enough. Yeah, I'll just do it to the neck. That's fine. There we go. And now let's work with that eyeshadow. I'm just going to give a quick light line right there and right there, because I'm going to show you how to do airbrush shading as well. And notice that I'm not going the darker color of whatever color it is. I'm going close to a red because red is the most evident thing in here. Pulling it down and then going. There we go. It looks like a brown that came into it. And there we go. There we go. Have that run right across because the belt. Get the belt buckle here. You gotta love cell shading. And I might fast forward through some of this, because all this is just shading stuff. And I will show you guys how to do rendering. A little bit. Let's go. Okay, so when it comes to metal, oh yeah, I'm back talking to you guys. I'm sorry. I'll just kind of rush through some of the stuff. But when it comes to metal, I'm just doing kind of like these quick lines down to at an angle, and then doing jagged lines right here. And after I do that, I can go through and grab a real light shade. And that will make it look more like metal. That's a trick that I learned. And also if I go here and do something like that, just a quick line across, it makes it so that it glows. And also, this wouldn't, I mean this could help as well. Doing a quick transparent erasing thing around it. There we go. That looks good. Alright, so let's go here. Bring it to this. Oof, that would hurt. I'll bring it more into bluish purple. There we go. And now let's go for the belt. And let's go with a little bit of a redder. And I'll see you guys back whenever I am doing the hair, which is going to be very soon. There we go. Alright, which one was the tongue? Oh, pupil. Pupil was the tongue. Eyeshadow was the gums. I forgot. Oh no. Let's go back to the eyeshadow. Can't believe I forgot about this. That's very embarrassing. Into pupil. Let's get that tongue taken care of real fast. And the pupil. Pull that in a darker blue. And just like I did with Toxic Soul's Eye, go back through with a transparency and pull out some of that. Hit the ink layer, add a little bit of shine, add a little bit of shine, and quick line. Wait, I just messed up. Extra layer first with the clipping layer to do that. Well, actually, not clipping layer. Just a normal layer. There we go. And now let's get to the hair, because I almost forgot about the hair. That would have been very embarrassing. And with red, let's go Mario. And that's my normal color that I do for hair, red hair. So basically what I'm doing is going through and making sure that most of the stuff that is not going to be very well seen, like that. I'll do that one later. This specific way. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. I go here. Get that selected. And I need a darker red. Like that. And this one is going to be different than all the other girls and boys. Alright, so that one goes like that. And this one goes like that. And it comes up like that. There we go. And I'm going to totally cheat on this by doing multiply layer. Tone it down. Control U it, which is going to bring up my hue shader, slider. Saturation, bring it up. Luminosity. Saturation way wicked high. There we go. I can go through here and hit this up. And as you can tell, it still does the shading automatically underneath, and also does that doodad up top. Which I'm actually going to turn that up a little. And turn it off, multiply. There we go. There we go. All right. That was a little bit more difficult than I was expecting. But we made it through it. With only missing 4 people. We'll send people back to go and search for them later on. But what matters now is getting to the point where we can just sit there and render real fast, so I can show you guys how to render and make this cell shaded piece of art into a masterpiece. There we go. Big old shade. I'm sorry that I'm not talking that much. I've noticed that I've been really focusing. And that's the joy of it all, is when Corey starts focusing on actually what he's doing for once. And due to big hair, it always needs big shade. There we go. Just up a little bit. That's fine. Alright, you peeps. Are you almost ready to learn how to do some rendering? Yeah, Corey, we're so totally ready. Awesome. So, I'm going to go back to my base, grab my shade color, hit a new layer, clip it, hit multiply on it, grab an airbrush, soft preferably. We're not doing a hard airbrush. And with my shaded color selected, just going to go over my shaded area just a little bit, not too much. It gives it that nice airbrush feel to it. Right in where the shading is. There we are. And now we're going to do that eyeshadow with closer to a purple. Rendered! Oh, I just realized that the hair on this needs to boop boop. There we go. Alright, where was I? Now pants. Pants is next. This is the quick way to render. And multiply. And there we go. There we go. And it's just quick little accent marks to make it so that it looks rendered. I'm not cheating the system. I'm just doing some cheaper stuff to make it so that things look better. Or like I put a lot more time into shading wise when I really didn't. There we are. Shirt too, don't really need it. Jacket, definitely will need it. Okay. Let's go control U that. Yeah, better. There we go. That pops just a little bit more. And the neck thingy. Look at that. There we go. And the last thing I'm going to do is take a very dark red, do that, and go through and paint all my lines a dark red. I can minimize that. Organized. And now the last thing that I really am going to do is quick color dodge session with an airbrush, the lighter of all the colors, and come in and do a quick just airbrush of the light parts to make it glow. And makes that shininess even more shiny. Might have gone a little bit overboard, but oh, I almost forgot clip it to it. That would have been embarrassing. Come on. Let's try to save all the memory. There we go. Look at that. And now I'm going to try a trick, which is duplicating all of what I've just done. Merging those layers. And actually, I'm probably going to do is just fill that in. Just for funsies. And then clip it, soft light, filter, blur, Gaussian blur, crank that up to 100,000. Not all the way, just for fun. Just see what happens. It's kind of like an Instagram filter. And gives her a soft glow. And you know what? Very last thing I'm going to do. This is something that I've watched Gurmp do. And it's going through and outlining like part of her in white. Like the part that really jumps out or you want to call the most attention to. Outline the ink with white. I'm not trying to be perfect on this one, but I'm just going and having a ball on this. I'm doing this above a layer of my ink layer. You might be wondering, Corey, why would you do that? It just seems like an unnecessary step. Kinda is. But it sometimes looks cool. Okay, now the last thing I'll do is duplicate my ink layer, pull it up here, pull it below, grab this, which is correct line width tool. I have it set to 10, which is thicken width by 10. Do that twice. Grab my paintbrush, which is up to like a bajillion. Alpha layer lock it, color it in. And now it has an outline around her. And last little doodad that I will do to give it a background so that she's just not sitting there doing absolutely nothing or bugger all. Here we go. I'll probably pull that up a little bit higher. And I'm going to lower that just a little bit. There we have it. And let me go back through here real quick. And make sure that I do a quick outline of this to make her pop away from her hair. So lines aren't getting lost. There we go. Tone that down a little. Grab that color. Grab that color. Hit that. And that's a gradient tool. And let's just do quick gradient. Bada bing, bada boom. We did it. Now that is what I call a more of a rendered thing. Let's save that. Saving often is very important. And I'm going to say that one more time. Well, actually in just a second. But that is the lesson. Sorry it was so freaking long. But I wanted to get all this fun stuff done so that you guys could understand or get a better handle on everything. And I know that I'm going fast forwarding through a lot of the stuff. Just going through some key points that we learned today is that closing up line gaps so that we can use the magic wand tool effectively, because if you have gaps that are a little bit open like that and you do the magic wand tool, it'll select the whole entire like negative space, positive space, everything, which is very annoying. Using the bucket tool that is attached to the magic wand tool, also making it so that it comes out a little bit more or goes into the line a little bit more, so that whenever you fill it, it makes it look a whole lot better. And what else did we learn today, guys? We learned that shading, cell shading, and also using the multiply layer, also learning how to do a little bit of color dodge for highlights. And yeah, we learned a lot, and it's only like 12:31 at night. Yeah, I'm tired. But whenever it comes to homework, what I want you guys to do is start trying to implement some of these little tips and tricks that I've taught you in here. Like doing the bucket tool, or doing the magic wand tool. Whenever it comes to inking, using a stabilizer tool to make it so that your lines are clean and crisp and look professional. And all that fun jazz. Alright? That's my homework for you guys. I hope you all have a great day. Keep calm and doodle on, and I will see you all in the next lesson. But remember, go on Discord. You can put up your homework there, any art that you have there. If you want feedback, just give me a quick call. I'd be more than happy to help you. But also, down in the comments below, please tell me what you want the next tutorial to be, because I want to make sure that I do a tutorial that you guys want. Alright? Now I'm going to say it one more time. Keep calm and doodle on. Have a great day. Bye-bye.